July 12th, I am in Las Vegas, Nevada at the Palms Casino. That's the Pearl Theater inside the Palms Casino.
Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Gary with the Get Some podcast. And my guest this week is...
This motherfucker Gary.
What up, everybody? This is Gary Owen with the Get Some podcast. I am recording this week from the lovely Nassau, Bahamas, the Bahamas Resort and Casino. So that's why you see this this room that I'm in, not my room. So you guys don't know exactly where I'm at. So yeah, having a good time out here in the Bahamas. Let me just self-indulge with, I hit on roulette. It seems like I have the best luck on the roulette table because I don't stay long. If I start with 500, if I get to 505, I get up. But it seems like I be hitting, boy. So it happened. Hold on just a minute. It happened here. I walked by, put a $25 chip on Black 11. I never play Black 11, and it hit. And it just hit. So it hit 2 times in a row, and I was like, there's no way. So it won like $900 and some dollars. I was like, it was funny because how I usually play roulette, and this is not a science, I have my go-to numbers. 26 is my birthday. 14 is my boy's birthday. 3, my daughter's birthday. So I got my go-to numbers. And whenever the person that's doing roulette spins it, I wait till the last second. I just throw not a gang of money, but some money on a number that I never play. And that's what I did. I waited. The lady spun it. And right before she was about to do this, I went, I put a $20 chip on 11 and it hit. I go, no way. No way that happened. So yeah, I'm up a little bit, you know. I don't mean to pop my collar, but I'm up. I'm up a little bit, you know, lost 500, but then I won 1,000. So whatever, I'm doing all right. So anyways, what I want to talk about this week, outside of being in the Bahamas, which is great. It's hot. It's hot out here. I'll tell you that, steaming. But okay, a couple things I want to touch on. One, my girl went to the Beyonce concert last week in Houston, the second night. I guess I always knew Beyonce was iconic. I always knew she was just superstar, stuff like that. And I did see the country guy get mad at her because his country album isn't higher than hers, and he goes, "It's not real country." It's like, it's not for you to say, man. Just make good music. I thought all the comedians was bitter and mad. I didn't know it's rubbing off in the music industry. He tried to say, you know, it's not real country, blah, 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 you know. But it's just, when people do stuff like that, it's just insecurities. It's a little jealousy. So it's funny to see it in country music. And I think race has something to do with it. I think if it was a white girl, it probably wouldn't be as bad, but I think more often than not, we're with music goes, we're kind of crossing genres constantly. I think it really kind of started for me and my age group was Nelly and Tim McGraw when they did that song. That was the first time I'd seen like a straight rapper and country guy just get together. I'm sure it's happened before. I think, yeah, I'm talking about country, not rock. Not anything else. Country and hip hop was Nelly and Tim McGraw's first time I saw it. I could be wrong. But I think more often than not, you're seeing artists like Jelly Roll, Chris Stapleton, and they're saying that when they was coming up, they listened to like NWA. They listened to Eminem, things like that. And now they're just country. Yeah, but this guy that talked, I think it's a little jealousy. coming his way. Just make good music. And if you're on the road, you're selling tickets, and who cares? Who cares if you don't get the Country Music Award? Is that why you're in it? I let that go a long time ago. I'm just in to make people laugh, make some money, sell some tickets. Just that's it. That's all I'm here for. If the awards are great, I'm not gonna act like if I got one, that'd be amazing. If I got nominated, that'd be amazing. But that's not why I do it. I just do it because it feeds my soul. Is stand up, and I think if you're a music artist, you're doing it because it feeds your soul. It's a passion in you. It's not about awards. It's not about is this person country or is this person not. So you're doing a lot of do about nothing. But back to my girl at the Beyonce concert. That thing, between getting her hair done, her outfit, parking, the tickets alone, I probably could have bought an 85 Oldsmobile. 2 of them for what Beyonce cost. When it's all said and done. Hair, makeup, outfit, the tickets. I'm like, yeah, could have got a shitty car for that. But I just didn't realize the magnitude Beyonce has on people. Like, it's a freaking event. It's an event. I knew she was bad. I've seen her in concert a couple times, but this level is another level. I saw her at Christmas at the Ravens-Texans game. But that was a football game. It was dope. But I've seen her in Columbus, Nashville. I've seen Beyonce quite a few times over the years with Destiny's Child, right when she first was solo. So yeah, I've been lucky enough to see her, 3 or 4 times in my life. So, but I think seeing what girls go through to go to a concert, and it was in her hometown, I was like, oh, this was different. It's another level right here. So it was kind of cool to see. Other thing I want to talk about is John Cena. If you haven't seen the interview on The Breakfast Club with him and Idris Elba, I encourage you to watch it. I saw a clip, and it really helped me as an entertainer. It really helped me. Sorry about that. Just kind of refocus at the core what this is all about, the entertainment business. And this kind of goes back to the country dude. He's worried about the wrong thing. I think it's weird. For some reason, I think I'm going to either run into John Cena or work with John Cena soon, because his name keeps coming up in circles around me. For some reason, my algorithm's on my phone, and I don't know. I just got a feeling. I got a feeling me and him's going to do something together in the future. And it could just be we meet up. I don't know. But he was on The Breakfast Club, and he was talking about how he doesn't use security. And of course, you're on The Breakfast Club. It's a hip-hop show. They go, security? Because I guess they're used to rappers and reality show people. I always wonder, like, some people that have security don't really need it, and it does draw a lot of attention to you. And he said, no, I don't use security. He goes, because if you walk in with 25 people, you draw attention to yourself. And then if you're drawing attention to yourself, then outside elements can come in. And then when you have to leave, you got to coordinate with a lot of people. You can't just get up and leave. That's a lot of people leaving. He goes, so I just move with a small group, AKA his wife or his friends. And he goes, if I want to leave, I leave. I've always said that. I've always said the same thing. I was like, yo, travel light, travel right. You know, you don't need a lot of people around. I know a lot of comedians, singers, athletes, they'll be traveling with security. I go, you know, you don't really need that. I got more people hitting me up trying to do security work for me, and I'm like, I don't need it. I'm good. I really don't. But it got me thinking. He said, I think at the core, humanity's good. Most people are good people. He goes, it's just there's a few bad apples, but at the core, people are good. I remember I went to a barbershop 2 months ago in San Diego, and they said there was pictures of John Cena all over the wall. And the guy goes, yeah, he's got a house on the beach not too far from here, and he comes in and gets his hair cut. And they said, the guy told me, he goes, he just walks in. Sometimes he calls, sometimes he doesn't. But if somebody else is getting cut, he just sits down and he's by himself in a barbershop getting his hair cut. And I was like, I mean, that just said volumes about him. And I did Andrew Santino's podcast last year. And I literally asked him, who's been off air, because I don't want to throw anybody under the bus. I said, who's been like your favorite person and who's been your least favorite person to work with that you didn't know before you got on a movie or a TV show? Not going to say the bad, no reason. But he said, Cena, John Cena, he said that his trailer was always there to knock on it. He was very collaborative. He wasn't standoffish with any of the crew. He just, what are we doing? He was just one of the guys when they were filming. And then, but there was two things. He said, oh, get back to security. I'll tell you a funny security story. I was in Detroit, and this guy asked if he could do security for me. I was like, I don't really need it. He goes, let me just do it to show you what I can do, and then, you know, we'll go from there. And I go, all right. When I get to the venue, keep in mind, I'm usually just getting a rent-a-car, pulling up to the back of a venue. I might have me and my opener, or me and a buddy, but two people tops are usually traveling with me. Because if someone's gonna do something, I don't carry cash. I don't know. I think I'm like John Cena. I think most people are good. So that's funny. I don't carry cash, but it was in my car and I got robbed. But I'm talking about on the road. I don't have any cash on me. But he's got like 4 of the biggest black guys I've ever seen in my life at the back door waiting on me. Then we go into the venue. Keep in mind, I know everybody on the show. It's my show. We're at a theater. We go into the venue. They sweep backstage. I go, what is going on right now? They're telling me, no, don't come in yet. We got to make sure it's clear. I go, what? Then we go to my dressing room. They post up one guy outside my dressing room, and they got a guy in my dressing room at the door staring at me. I go, bro, I am not Barack Obama. I am not Donald Trump. I don't need all this. Why are you in the dressing room, first of all? Maybe I want to fart. Maybe I want to pick my nose. And I want you to see it. But we're just standing there. He's like holding people off from coming to say hi to me. I know everybody on the show. I probably picked the people to be on the show. And they're keeping people away. One thing about my guys backstage, we give each other space, but I have an open door. If you want to come say what's up, stop and say what's up. Or if you just want to talk real quick before we go up, I don't care about that. So he's getting me. It reminded me when John Cena, he doesn't travel with security. I said, yeah, that kind of tainted me a little bit right there. John Witherspoon always said he don't travel with a bunch of people. He was like, nah, because I had a road manager and security there, and I goes, I realized I'm paying them this, and I sit in the room all day. And I go to the show. I was like, yep. But here's a couple things. That was a long thing, but a couple things John Cena said in the interview that just, man, I'm so glad I listened to it. He said at the core, I feel like humanity's good. He said, even when you're talking about signing autographs, he goes, sometimes you can't sign all the autographs. And there's a time and a place. When somebody's out to eat, you leave them alone. When somebody's with their family, you leave them alone. You can say hi. You can say whatever, but to have them stop what they're doing to get a picture or an autograph, it's just not the time. Especially if you got your kids with you, everything else. He said, so when it comes to the paparazzi, he goes, his only issue is they get a little aggressive, and he could be with his wife, and they kind of push her to the side. He goes, and that's not okay. You have to acknowledge her. You have to ask. Things like that. He says the flashbulbs just be popping, and they don't take that into consideration. And he said when it comes to signing autographs, kids, families, all that's, we know what that is. That's just a fan. He said, but the memorabilia hounds, the one that Kelsey Plum got on a couple weeks ago, the WNBA player, she made this memorabilia fan feel bad for asking for autograph that clearly he was going to sell. And we know that everybody knows who's there as a fan and who's there to make money off your signature. We've all signed the glossy pictures that they're probably going to frame up and try to sell on eBay and stuff. But he said, I used to think I'm not doing this. These guys are trying to make money off of me. He goes, and then I stepped back and went, wait a minute. If me signing 5 pictures is going to help this guy put food on his table and feed his family, he goes, then that's good. That's okay that I do that. I'm not losing any money. It's only, I just got to do this for about 30 seconds. And this guy might make enough money to pay his rent off that. And I never thought of it like that. And I was like, whoa. I said, we act like these guys that get pictures and signatures are like lowlifes. But then you realize, wait a minute, it's just a legal way for them to make some money. And sometimes they stand out there for a long time to get you to sign a picture. And I go, and I've been guilty of it. I've told member guys, nah. Or I run to the car because they're coming up to get it after a show. But I was like, man, I never looked at it like that. I never did. He said even there was a time him and his wife was leaving somewhere and they was in the car and 3 cars started following him. And he's like, whoa, wait a minute. And he started switching lanes and they were switching lanes. So he finally pulled over and they pulled over behind him. And he said, okay, what you're doing is dangerous. What you're doing is wrong. You're following me with my wife. He goes, so I know what you want, but what you're doing is wrong. So I'm going to sign what you want me to sign. And I'm asking you to do a U-turn and go the other way. Please don't keep following me. He said, because if you do, then I got to get law enforcement involved. Or you're going to take me somewhere I don't want to go. And who wants to fight John Cena? But he said he signed everything. The guys did a U-turn and they took off and they thanked him. He said, just diffuse the situation. And of course, Charlamagne the Breast Club was like, you pulled over? You know, aren't you worried about what could happen? And that's when he said, I just firmly believe most of humanity is good. And I have to keep that mindset. And it was just like, I mean, the guy's he's got it figured out. He's got this entertainment business figured out. He's got everything figured out. I was like, he's very thoughtful in his words. He doesn't talk out of turn. You could tell this isn't something just coming off the top of his head. He's really put a lot of thought into what he's saying. And I already was a fan, but now I'm a bigger fan. I was just like, It was just, I'm so glad that I saw it. Yeah. Hey, this podcast is brought to you by Blue Chew. Now listen, every guy knows when you go in the bedroom and you about to get that action, you want to feel confident. You want to make sure there's nothing going to stand in my way. There's not enough stress. There's not enough just not going to deliver when it's time. If you want to deliver, I mean, I'm talking about delivery more reliable than the postman. I'm sorry, I got stuck thinking how I want to deliver this. Who's just going to help you? Who's just going to be that one to give you 100% confidence in the bedroom that you're going to handle your business the right way and make sure whoever you're handling business with is like, what just happened? You ain't got to tell them. That's between you and Blue Chew. So listen, Blue Chew wants to make every guy's life harder and easier. That's all we want. Listen, by making life, all I want to do is make life easier by getting harder. And you can do that by discovering your options at BlueChew.com. And we've got a special deal for our listeners. Try your first month of Blue Chew free when you use promo code GETSOME. Just pay $5 for shipping. That's right. That's promo code GETSOME. Visit BlueChew.com for more details and important safety information. And as always, we thank Blue Chew for sponsoring this podcast. Hey, this podcast is brought to you by Magic Spoon. I just found a new flavor, baby. Peanut butter. It's getting up there on my top list. If everybody knows me, they know I love peanut butter. And you can see it's already open. So I'm telling you, I don't even put this stuff in milk. I just be eating it straight out the box. It's like a snack. So listen, there's all kinds of flavors. But I'll tell you this. I'm gluten-free. This is gluten-free. Low-carb lifestyle. Let me see what else. Let's see what else the box says. Ooh. Natural flavors. 0 total sugars. 14 grams of protein. 14 net carbs. 4. Get out of my face. The high-protein, keto-friendly, gluten-free, grain-free, soy-free, wheat-free, naturally flavored, totally delicious, childlike cereal for grown-ups. Bang them! I got a special offer right now, everybody. Now listen. If you order Magic Spoon right now, I'm talking right now, you get $5 off your next order. All you got to do is go to magicspoon.com/getsome. Or you can look for Magic Spoon on Amazon or in your nearest grocery store. That's magicspoon.com/getsome. $5 off. Peanut butter, baby. In that tone, Jake Paul fought Julio Cesar Chavez last week. And then I don't know if you guys are familiar with MMA or not, but there's an ex-MMA fighter. His name was Ben Askren. He's probably most famous. It's sad that he got one of the most brutal knockouts in UFC history when Jorge Masvidal hit him with a flying knee and knocked him out in like 5 seconds. If you haven't seen the highlight, literally Ben Askren's here, Jose Masvidal's here. The ref goes, ready to fight? Ready to fight? And Jorge Masvidal gets a running start and jumps in the air and hits Ben Askren's head with a flying knee, and Askren was out cold. And Jorge Masvidal had said they practiced that because they knew Ben Askren was a wrestler, and they knew if he goes high, he's going to go low to try to lift him up. And it was the perfect flying knee. One of the most iconic knockouts in the history of UFC history. But Ben Askren basically was done after that. And he fought Jake Paul a couple years ago and lost. And then Jake Paul talks a lot of shit and he gets under people's skin. But if you know this entertainment business, I firmly believe like he's just doing it to sell tickets. I don't think that's really how he is. He's not malicious. He's not vindictive. But Ben Askren went, I don't know, like got a bad, like pneumonia, went under, almost died. He needs a double lung transplant. It was just some freak physical ailment that he had. Because you say pneumonia, you don't think die. It was like from 0 to 100 quick. There was rumors that he passed away. His wife kept saying no, but he needs help. He needs a double lung transplant. And Jake Paul paid for it. His insurance denied him because it probably cost too much. And then Jake Paul said it's bullshit. I fought him. He got in the ring with me. So it's just something I can take care of. And you're talking about two guys that talked a lot of shit to each other leading up to the fight and even after the fight when it was over. But it just tells you, like, I'm always been a fan of Jake Paul and his brother Logan Paul. One, they're Ohio boys, and they're self-made. They're just self-made men, self-made multimillionaires. They did it on their own. And now everybody came to them. Like WWE came to Logan Paul. They put these fights together, and they did their thing on YouTube. And, I mean, the hustle, I just respect it so much from both of them. So it was just a cool thing Jake Paul did for Ben Askren. Yeah, it was very cool. And it's also I don't know, it's just in the insurance companies. How do you deny somebody a double lung transplant? You're basically saying, yeah, go ahead and die. We don't care. Because insurance companies, man, it's a double-edged sword. You know, even with my car getting broken into, you know, it's a lot of red tape to get it taken care of. And shout out to my insurance company. I ended up paying for the damages in my car when it got broken into. But, you know, I remember when I had my knee surgery, when I shot back on the strip, I got hurt. And I called the insurance for my knee, and the lady real friendly on the phone, real nice, and I'm thinking we're vibing. And then I'm just being honest. She's, you ever had knee surgery before? I said, yeah, 1994. So I had my knee surgery. This is 2021 that I'm on the phone with this lady. And she said, oh, okay. You had ACL? I said, yeah, I had ACL in 1994. And then she goes, oh, okay. They denied my knee surgery claim because they said I had a pre-existing condition. I was like, what? I should have never told her. I was like, dude, she asked me, I told the truth, and that was it. I ended up getting it covered. They ended up going back, and the studio took care of me. I did get hurt on set, and I'm just going, I was so taken back. I was like, how you deny the claim? 27 years ago, I had knee surgery, and then I heard it again 27 years later. No, it's been fine. So it can be a dirty business. It's almost like you're trying to be honest, but you got to hide everything. This lady was so nice on the phone. I could have swore, I was like, oh, I'm approved. Nope. I got hurt on set, on a movie, while filming. I did absolutely nothing wrong. Just a freak accident that happened. And I just thought it was a formality, the phone call. I couldn't believe she denied the claim. Had the nerve to deny it with no regard. And that's the problem. Like, it's a double-edged sword because you got people that scam. We've all heard about people doing those false insurance claims and they're acting like they're hurt and they're not. And then you got someone like me I'm just telling you what happened to my knee. I just want my knee fixed. Ain't nobody trying to sue nobody. Ain't nobody trying to scam nobody. I just want to get my knee fixed. And I just told her, yeah, I had knee surgery, and she denied it. Pre-existing condition 27 years later. But I've had no issues. I played softball, pickup basketball for 20 years. Never an issue. Okay. So that was just very, very cool. Shouts out to Jake Paul for doing that for Ben Askren. That was big, man. That was huge. It was just real cool. So, last thing I want to talk about, a couple things sports related. There's an NBA player, his name's Malik Beasley. I don't know if you heard it, but they're investigating him for gambling on games, point shaving, things like that. And it's so funny when this happens because they're showing all these highlights of him doing things to cover the spread. Whether he did or not, I don't know. I just think it's funny how the internet just finds everything. There was a game where the spread was 8 and Malik Beasley's team was down by 9. And the guy hits a free throw. The guy inbounds the ball, Malik. He jets down the court, hits a layup. So his team loses by 7, so they cover the spread. And then there's another video where his team's down. He's going to shoot a 3 with like no time left on the clock, and Giannis blocks it. And you see Malik is pissed that he blocked it. And if he would have made a 3, his team would have covered, and they would have won. All the bettors would have won that game, but they didn't because Giannis blocked it. And it's just funny how they put it together. Whether it happened, I don't know. But just Google Malik Beasley gambling, and then look up some of these people have spliced up all these games where it's like at the end of the game and the game's out of hand, and Malik's just going nuts trying to either cover the spread or not cover the spread. But it's just funny. It's interesting. I don't know if he did or not. I don't know. That really was pointless to talk about. I just felt like it was funny to share. So, last thing. Let me get these names right because it's a lot of Spanish names. I don't know if you guys remember the 2018, the teenager that got killed at a bodega by a bunch of guys who mistaked him for a gang member. Hold on. Okay, here it is. Okay, gangbanger convicted of mistaken identity of New York City teen found dead in prison as the victim's mom said he deserved it. So, I'm going to read this from the New York Post. One of the cowardly thugs who viciously beat 15-year-old Lisandro Jr. Gomez Felice to death in a Bronx bodega was found dead at an upstate prison, state officials said Sunday. Who's his first name? Joniki Martinez Estrada, 31 years old, found dead at the Coxsackie Correctional, the Coxsackie Correctional Facility in upstate New York while serving a 25 years to life sentence in the senseless and deadly 2008 gang assault. So let's unpack a little bit. There was a guy, Junior Guzman was his name. He's literally just in a bodega, chilling. And like 6 guys, something like that, they see him in and they mistake him for a gang member. He runs a bodega and they're trying to drag him out. And he's like, no. And the bodega store owner isn't doing anything to help him. They take him on the street and they kill him. Like somebody had a machete. It was violent. It was disgusting. Look what I just said. 2018, this was 7 years ago. So this guy was 24 years old, chasing a 15-year-old. A grown man after a 15-year-old. And he was very unremorseful during the trial period. There's a picture of him flicking off the camera after the verdict came out. So Junior's mom said he deserved it. It's not going to bring my son back. It doesn't help the damage he did to me. It doesn't help the damage he did to my family. Where's the rest of the article? Hold on. God, these damn advertisements. When you use your life to be a gang member, it's only going to go one of 2 ways, she said. Either you're going to jail or you're going to the cemetery. He went to both. That's a cold statement. That's the way life works. Martinez Estrada, one of the killers, was found unresponsive in his cell shortly after 1 p.m. on Friday. A spokesperson for the State Department of Corrections and Community Supervision said prison staff attempted CPR, used a defibrillator, and administered Narcan to the killer, but he died at the scene. The vicious mistaken identity attack shocked the Big Apple after Martinez Estrada and other members of the Trinitarius gang chased the teen into a Bronx bodega where they slashed Guzman Felice with knives and machetes and beat him to death. Martinez Estrada, who was condemned to life in prison without parole in the brutal caught-on-camera slaying, was resentenced on a lesser second-degree murder conviction, I didn't know that, for which he faced up to 25 years of life behind bars, an appellate court ruled. The extreme heinous June 20, 2018 machete and knife killing clearly depicted Martinez Estrada delivering the fatal slash to Guzman Felice's neck. But in the end, the convicted killer ended up with a death sentence, although authorities have not revealed the circumstances surrounding the gangbanger's death. State prison officials said the cause of death will be determined after examination by the local coroner's office. He is only getting a small taste, a small part of what he did to me, the slain teen's mom said. He killed an innocent kid outside in the street. Him being a 31-year-old that threw his life away for being in a gang, he got what he deserved. I mean, this was disturbing to see it. I think prison politics just did him in. But it's one thing to kill somebody. Mistaken identity. It's not right. It's another thing when you get convicted and you flick the camera off. That's no remorse. That's another level of evil that I can't even comprehend. So, all right, y'all. Well, I'm going to cut this one a little short. I am on vacation, but I want to get it in, say what's up, had a couple things I want to talk about. So, especially the John Cena thing. So, anyways, next week we'll be back to our regularly scheduled programming. All right, y'all. I'll see you next week. This is Gary with the Get Some Podcast.
This motherfucker Gary.